Hello. So I want to make a little checklist of everything that I would like to do, like right after the moment that I make my last step payment. Things I want to do after debt freedom. So number one, what do I want to do? There is a small chance that I will start crying. So maybe I will cry unless I'm wearing makeup. Then I'll just cry afterwards. I want to do a debt-free scream by myself. Debt-free scream. I'm so sorry to my parents' neighbors, but it has to be done. Okay, definitely that. What else? So if my parents are home, I'm definitely gonna tell them. So I'm just gonna put it separately because my parents may not both be home at the same time. So I'm gonna say, tell mom, tell dad. That's so weird, mom, dad. Tell mami y papi. That's what we're gonna go with in my mind. Call they. Then I'm gonna call friends because I have some friends who have really been through it with me. You guys saw Julia in my $0 net worth milestone video. I have called her for every milestone I've had, like every single federal student loan that I paid off. I called her, we did a toast, and obviously I called her for my net worth milestones as well. So it's just a tradition and we're gonna keep it up. Oh, that reminds me, very important. I'm not gonna use wine for this. I'm gonna use champagne. I think I'm gonna have to go to the liquor store and actually get real champagne because I'm not gonna be one of those people who's like, I'm having champagne, but it's not from Champagne. So yeah, I'm gonna be legit. That is something I definitely need to purchase in advance, so I'm glad that I thought about it. The other stipulation is have champagne glass. So I'm calling all of the important people. Okay, bring food for coworkers. So those are the main things I want to do right after I'm debt free. So let me actually move this one part. Okay, I'm gonna move this bring food for coworkers to a later time. Okay, so after I call everyone and tell everyone, I'm just gonna be like, all right, well, I want cake, so I'm gonna buy myself a cake or some other pastry. Doesn't have to be a cake, maybe a cheesecake. Also balloons. Okay, so I think that's enough for celebration. I don't really want to have a party or anything. I just want to celebrate a little thing. So, okay, that's enough, and I'll bring the coworker thing back up here. That's a solid list of what I want to do. Now we can move on to the bigger goals. So I really haven't taken a vacation since the week before the pandemic, but I would like to go somewhere. Ideally, I would like to go to Europe, but I don't think that will happen anytime soon. I think it's probably safer to plan a trip within the US. So there's definitely one place I really wanted to go to, and it is Nashville. So I am going to plan a trip to Nashville, and hopefully my best friend can come with me. Trip to Nashville. I am writing this down because I have a feeling that I'm gonna want to not go to Nashville because I'm gonna be like,
oh my god, it's too much money, I can use it for my next financial goal.
Because that's something that I would do. So I definitely want to write this down and have you guys see it because it makes it harder for me to change my mind later. Why Nashville, you might ask, other than the fact that it's Nashville? Well, because we want to go see all the Taylor Swift landmarks. We are going to the Bluebird Cafe, the Taylor Swift Education Center, all the big spots, okay? And if I go on this trip, obviously I'm gonna bring you guys along, so don't worry, you won't miss all the Taylor Swift landmarks that we go to. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun thing to look forward to, and I love that it's not really a materialistic thing because throughout my debt-free journey, I've definitely had an Amazon wish list of when I'll be debt free, I'm gonna buy this. And there's probably only one thing in there that I really want that I'm just not gonna let myself get. And it's a $1,000 Breville oven that allows you to make Neapolitan pizzas because that would be a dream. And it gets to a really high temperature so that it makes it really easy to cook a pizza in 3 minutes. And yeah, that would be a dream, but it's $1,000 and it's a lot. I'd rather go to Nashville and go to the Taylor Swift Education Center. So that is the main splurge. I don't think I'm gonna splurge on clothes or anything too crazy. If I do, it'll just be part of my regular budget. And of course, if a Taylor's version drops, I will let myself get the merch. I will let myself get the merch, get the vinyl, get the CD, all the things. So if you saw my financial goals video, you know that I'm definitely gonna plan to save up an emergency fund. However, that emergency fund is probably gonna be smaller than what you guys expect, mostly because my current expenses, I want to say it's $600 a month, but I think the average is higher because there's just some purchases that come up and like some random expenses, so maybe I spend more than $600 a month. But realistically, if I stick to the bare necessities, I really only spend $600 a month. So for now, I just want to save up like maybe 3 months of expenses because I'm still living at home. Like I don't have my own place. So I'm completely fine just saving 600 times 3. And I actually already have $1,000 as my emergency fund. I've had that as my emergency fund since 2018. So I'm very lucky nothing happened while I did have an apartment. But right now, it seems like a lot of money already. So really, I would only need like $800 to fund my 3-month emergency fund. Next, I am planning to max out my Roth IRA. So the contribution limit is $6,000, so that's how much I plan to contribute to that. But there have been some changes in my thinking of like what I really wanna, like where I want to send my money afterwards. And the 2 main options I was kind of trying to decide between were maxing out my 401k, which would be $20,500 of Roth contributions for the year, or I can just contribute to my 401k up to the company match, and the rest I can start saving as a down payment. I have already expressed my thoughts on purchasing a house soon after debt freedom because I've said that I wanted to chill and relax and not worry about debt for a while. But when I said that, I wasn't really thinking of all the possibilities in real estate. I really was not. And recently, I've been thinking a lot about buying a rental property. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'm just warning you guys. I'm warning you. I may be in debt again. The good thing about this is that a debt like that is not only a liability, it is also an asset. So I feel a lot more comfortable with that. And if it is a rental property, then I don't necessarily have to move yet. I can rent it out to someone. Yes, I'll probably have to do repairs, but I'll have like a contingency fund for all of that. I would be okay with postponing very aggressive retirement savings so that I can have a rental property that generates income every month. And yes, it kind of would be an additional job for me, but it's a job that produces income. So hopefully I'll be able to save up a down payment, gain equity in a house. I know interest rates are high, but I don't know when the purchase will happen, if it does happen, but that's definitely something that I'm thinking about. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know what's gonna happen. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and please let me know in the comments below what kinds of things you did after you became debt-free, or what you're planning to do or purchase when you achieve that goal. Because, you know, I made my list, but I'm always seeking inspiration. That is always welcome.